Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Probably you are aware of Biden's visit in Ukraine, and then in Poland, and then he met the countries, the NATO countries from the so-called eastern flank, and in order to discuss whatever they discuss best, who gives Ukraine more this and that, and they pat themselves one another on their backs. Well, all the weasel countries were present from the eastern flank except one, and that one was the Prime Minister of Hungary. Hungary was represented by the Hungary's president, though, but not by Viktor Orban, who's in charge actually, since the president of Hungary has more of a ceremonial duty. So I have this article from Sputnik, which is a Russian media outlet, telling us about Mr. Orban's refusal to go and meet those weasels who went over there to bend the knee in front of the leader and obviously kiss some ass. Kick some ass, yeah, they wished. So this article comes from Sputnik. It's from today, the 22nd of February 2023. Hungary's Orban snubs Biden, skips big meeting of leaders of NATO's eastern flank. For almost a year now, the Hungarian Prime Minister has stood alone among NATO and European Union leaders in opposition to West's proxy war against Russia and Ukraine, declaring Budapest neutrality and refusing to allow the transfer of weapons to Kiev via Hungarian territory. Prime Minister Viktor Orban skipped a meeting with President Joe Biden and the leaders of NATO's eastern flank on Wednesday, leaving Hungary's ceremonial president Katalin Novak to attend in his place. On top of this, and I will discuss this in the next article that I have here, at a press conference the same day, Hungarian Foreign Minister Péter Szijjártó reiterated Budapest's desire to see fighting stop and peace talks begin, and I'm quoting, having seen and listened to the speeches by the presidents of the US and Russia yesterday, I think they would have made humanity a much bigger service by talking to each other, end quote, Szijjártó said. Now, Szijjártó is one of the fantastic foreign ministers that we have today, young, smart, courageous. And let's go and see first on the map what are the countries that were supposed to show up over there. Now, this is Ukraine. This is an old map which shows Crimea belonging to Ukraine and the eastern part of Ukraine still belonging, but it doesn't matter. I picked it because it was very clear on what countries are around in Europe. So we have here Estonia, that's one big country, Latvia, another one, and Lithuania. All these three, the Baltic states, together have a population of about 5 million people altogether. So this is the big flank right here. Then obviously we have Poland, which wants to play a bigger role in Europe. That's why I think it's arming itself, and my assessment is that it is one of United States' Trojan horses in Europe. Then we have right here a little bit of Slovakia. Then we have Hungary right here. Then you have the weasel country of Romania. And if you want to go down, you go to Bulgaria, and if you want to go, you go to Turkey. But I don't think Turkey was over there. I'm not sure if Bulgaria was over there, but let's see. I think they said there were 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 maybe with the States. So I don't know. They said the countries of 10. I read in an article. I don't see here 10 of them. I don't know. Maybe they put Czech Republic as well in there, and I don't know. Maybe Turkey. I don't know, or who knows? I don't know yet. Greece, I don't think it was over there. But these are the countries right here in the eastern flank. I mean, next to the evil Russia. And let's go back to the other article with Peter Giarto. And it's interesting that the Hungarians know exactly who's who and what's what. And not only they know that, I'm pretty sure the rest of the world knows who's who, what's what, and who is the initiator, instigator, entity that keeps this fire mostly burning. It's not the only instigator, it's not the only, participant in keeping this war going, but it is, I think, the decisive one. Now, Ukrainska Pravda reports today on the 22nd of February 2023, Putin and Biden should talk. This war must end, Hungarian foreign minister. Now, why didn't Mr. Peter Szijjártó, the foreign minister of Hungary, say this war must end, Zelensky and Putin should talk? Why do you think? Obviously because he knows who's who and what's what. Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó called for an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine and direct talks between the US and Russian presidents to end the war. Well, I didn't know that it was these guys fighting. I thought it was Ukraine fighting Russia. Anyway, source, Szijjártó during a joint press conference with Rafael Grossi, head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, as reported by European Pravda, citing Hungarian news outlet Magyar Hírlap. Details. Szijjártó was answering a question regarding the separate speeches of the US and Russian presidents on February 21st. And I'm quoting, "They could have done a much greater service to humanity if they had talked to each other yesterday," end quote, said the Hungarian foreign minister. And I'm quoting again, "This war must end immediately. If there is no immediate ceasefire and peace talks do not start straight away, there could be huge problems," end quote, he added. Szijjártó believes that, and I'm quoting, it would be great if the Americans and the Russians finally talked to each other and did everything possible to end this war as soon as possible," end quote. Background, Slovak foreign minister scolded, so Slovakia was over there, as I said, scolded Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban for his policies that played into the hands of Russian President Vladimir Putin, blah, 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 blah. Orban has previously stated that peace in Ukraine would come when the United States wanted it to. Hungarian officials have repeatedly stated that negotiations between Russia and the United States are necessary to resolve the war in Ukraine. Well, unfortunately, the war in Ukraine will not end, or the negotiations will not start until Ukraine plays its final card. And the final card cards are tanks delivered, fighter jets delivered, personnel to use those fighter jets and tanks, which are training right now very hard in foreign countries because they're baboons, and then as well as a return of the Ukrainian military personnel that is training in the Western countries, more than 30,000. I was about to say dollars. 30,000 of them training all over Europe, and they will come back, you'll see, and they will do wonders. I don't think they will come 30,000, I think they will come about 150,000. And they will probably speak many, many languages. And there will be a lot of volunteers that will increase the number of the so-called volunteer assault troops that the Ukrainians invented about 2 weeks ago. And that would probably get to about 80,000 people that would speak different languages, plus all the volunteers. So probably they will have the last fight, all these returning Ukrainians, tanks and long-range missile systems, aircraft, all that operated by Ukrainians. There will be volunteers coming from various countries with all kind of things right here, if you know what I mean, ranks, and they will all come to Ukraine in the same time. And when this mass of people, plus the weapons will be there, and will be probably in about 2-3 months, then we will try a big counter-offensive, unless the Russians until then reach Kiev or something. So when that happens, when this side counterattacks, has its only and final blow, if they are not capable of pushing the Russians back to Vladivostok or maybe into the Bering Strait, then would be the peace treaty or discussions probably by summer or fall. But they will not discuss anything with the Russians if the Russians are not capable to clear everything now, until those guys and all those weapons come over. They will hope that would give them an upper hand on the war, and they hope to negotiate from a point of strength, which that is how you do if you want to negotiate. Obviously, it gives you more leverage. So, as you can see in my assessment, at least, Hungary knows exactly who should be the one saying stop or go. The problem is they will not say stop until this will happen. That's how I foresee this thing developing. So yeah, they will not talk. I'm 99% certain they will not talk. We'll see what the Chinese will do, because it seems like the Chinese came out of the woodwork and say, you know what, we're done with this hanky-panky. We are really on this side. You guys did too much. Well, it's time to show our real face. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.